I'm going to make a few videos in a series on modern American conservatism. I've been a conservative for roughly 3 decades, and while I don't proclaim to be an expert on the ideology, I do have a fair bit of insight that I want to share, and I believe my take here will be different from many other videos on this platform. And that's the reason I'm doing this. There are a lot of very well-informed monologues and dialogues on conservatism on this platform, but a few of them cover much territory, or they cover just a few aspects. So I hope to provide more information, even if it's not as smooth or polished as a professional might deliver. I want people to know that just because I recognize a lot of trains of thought within the American conservative movement, that doesn't mean I agree with everything within. The fact is, conservatives are not in agreement on a lot of things. And while I have a fairly broad but consistent range of views, I do disagree with other conservatives. But that doesn't mean that I fall outside of the movement or that I claim that others who disagree with me aren't conservatives. Now, if they themselves believe they're not, or if they believe in ways that are deliberately contradictory to this ideological movement, that'll be up for them to decide. I'm not the decider here. I'm just a person trying to pass along information to others, and you can do additional research on your own. Lastly, I'll be providing some resources in the descriptions of these videos over time. But since I have so many, they won't fit into one single description on any one video. But you can click on the links on the various videos or catalog them yourselves or do your own research. And with that said, let's get started. So what is modern American conservatism, and why are you limiting your scope to that and say not all forms of conservatism across the world and through time? Well, I can only semi-authoritatively talk about conservatism in the last few decades in the United States of America, given that most of my knowledge and experience of the ideology comes from this framework. And my understanding is that our version of conservatism is essentially a fork in this type of movement in the Western world. And I believe it's more of a leading form of this movement, and I hope to explain why in future videos. These are going to be smaller and more digestible videos with unique headlines, differentiating them from others in the series, but I hope that they'll show the overall picture like a jigsaw once assembled. Modern American conservatism is essentially an ideology that coalesced in the aftermath of World War II and is more aligned itself with the Republican Party in America. It took elements from a number of philosophers and ideologues in the past, from inside the borders of this country to beyond these confines. However, the greatest influences tend to come from the advent of the Enlightenment and the centuries since then. But many of them come from the American citizens who loved this country and wanted better for it and its inhabitants, as well as to lead the world by example. Many of them disagreed with each other while alive, and many also took issues with actions from ideological predecessors and other influencers. But there are various traits that led to the formation of conservatism as we know it today, and I hope to describe them justly. In my next video, I'll describe the various tenets of conservatism. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.